What's up, y'all? We are on the air. Thank you for joining me today on the Roman Around podcast. My name is Roman. I appreciate you tuning in. If I look tired and you're watching the video version of this, it is because I am. I just finished the C2X 24-hour fitness challenge that we were doing at the wrestling club that I coach at, and it was a phenomenal event. But 24 hours, 24 workouts, not much sleep, it kind of adds up on you. And so I do want to give you a little rundown because I just got finished. We did it from 12 o'clock noon on Saturday the 7th, and then we finished up at noon on Sunday, November 8th. And man, it was a crazy event. I mean, we had kids of all ages. We had parents there that were doing it as well. There was boys, there was girls, wrestlers, non-wrestlers. It was an awesome event. We had 24, the basis of it was essentially 24 different workouts in 24 hours. And so a different workout every hour on the hour. And so it was a very interesting experience because that was something that I had never done before. I hadn't really stayed up for 24 hours in a long time, and I'm pretty good at power naps, but it was hard to take some power naps in that little those little windows because you start the workout on the hour. The workouts varied somewhere between around 10 minutes to I would say 10 to 40 minutes was the range. And Tom, who's a physical mastermind, was writing up all these workouts, what felt like on the fly, but I know he has a master plan behind it because he was really supporting us in what we needed in the moment. Because he could feel the energy in the room. He could see it on our faces. I mean, some of us were really tired. Some of us would take naps. Some of us would have to get woken up, get shaken, woken up to be ready for that next workout. I mean, noon to noon, it's tough. I mean, I felt really good, like even around midnight. I felt good, but then those night hours started coming. Those 2 a.m., those 3 a.m.s, those ones really started to add up on you. And man, it was such an awesome event though. But I am hurting right now. Like sitting in this chair, I'm even hurting. It just doesn't, like, my body is just tired. And every workout had a warm up. And so even the warm ups we were just dreading, even though it was like a 100-meter run. It was like, man, we don't even want to run. We don't even want to warm up for this next workout because we don't see the workouts before Tom writes them on the board. So they are a mystery to us until he announces it and writes it down. And so we're sitting there. Some of us are sitting there just like thinking in our head, like, what's it going to be? Like, oh, I hope it's not too bad. I hope it's not too long, because the recovery and things like that, you really want to take into account. But man, we had over 30 athletes, like I mentioned, all ages, 30 participants, with a lot of them being our wrestlers, but we did have like family as well as friends that were coming in that would come in, show support, some that would stay, some that wouldn't. And it was just a really good event because, I mean, at least this is what I try to do. I liked to grab a partner specifically for every workout so that I could have someone to hold me accountable and someone that I can help I can hold them accountable as well. And it really made the experience because I could then share my workout partner, and really develop a more sense of community during these workouts. So you're not just doing these workouts by yourself. And I thought that was huge. I mean, I know that if I didn't have these partners, I probably wouldn't win as hard. And so seeing my partner go really hard, these young kids have so much energy and I love it. I mean, there was definitely some MVPs out there. I know that, like, my man Carson was like, he told me before, he goes, pacing yourself is for the weak. And this was hour 2 when he was picking up a 70-pound dumbbell or 70-pound kettlebell to do rows with. And I was like, man, I'll see you in 24 hours. And I kid you not, That kid was sprinting those warm-ups. He was sprinting them every time with a smile on his face. He was juiced up for life, man. And that gave me energy. That helped me get through these. And yeah, it was oh man, it was very fun. We had food, we had games, we did a cornhole tournament. Uh, I went 1-1, uh, but we had, I mean, the game that we called the Cornhole Championships of the World, that one was phenomenal. I mean, it came down to those, those games of cornhole. You can't go over. They got 19, you got 20. You're going back down to 15. They're going back down to 15. They climb back up. At one point, I thought it was like, I think it was 20 or 19-2 or 18-2 or something. That team that had two, they kept their head in the game. They ended up taking it. It was an impressive cornhole feat. And I think that if there was a cornhole championship of the world, those two should probably be in it at some capacity, even in the conversation, because they play some really, really good cornhole. And one thing that was very cool and very special about this event, and that kind of kept us moving through the event and kept us motivated, was that we had the high level college and senior level wrestlers call in and or FaceTime us or Instagram Live. We did a couple different ways. However, we had to reach them, but they would call in, and then they would we would talk about what we were doing, that we were raising money for growing the sport of wrestling in the Carolinas, as well as raising money for families that have children with life-altering diseases. And we shared that with them, and then they got to really they got the floor to give a speech or just to connect with our wrestlers and really just share whatever they were feeling about us in this fundraiser. About we talked, I mean, we got kids that are trying to wrestle in college. They would chime in on social media and how to navigate that situation when you are in high school, and making sure that you're not saying anything that you don't want other people to read, and that might work against you when coaches are looking at you. And so we had Colin Moore, who was wrestling at Ohio State, and is now, I believe, is competing at the senior level. We had Sebastian Rivera, who has one more year at Rutgers and is a NCAA champion, I believe. Man, I don't want to mess that up. I won't even say credentials anymore, but but these athletes are very, very good at what they do on the mat. And they're just good people off the mat. These conversations that they had. We had Bryce Meredith on there, who really was sharing some amazing stories and had us really thinking about our lives philosophy-wise. And then we had Anthony Ashnell as well. He's always a character. He's a true just representative of the sport and just a good human being. I mean, I've had him on the podcast, and he really helped me in seeing some things that I could really change in my life. And then we had Coach Scott Goodell from Rutgers as well. He called in and gave our kids some very insightful information as a college coach, what he looks for in athletes, and how you can have the best opportunity to get to that next level by doing the right things. And it was great having those guys chime in, because they would chime in at the right times when we needed that little extra motivation just to get us ready for that next workout, or especially because they were right before workout, that they would usually call in. And so those ones were usually ones that you didn't really need much motivation for, because you had just gotten off the phone with someone who was very accomplished in the sport that you are training in. And it really, really helped you work hard during that next workout. And so that was phenomenal. But some of the hardest parts were just navigating how much to eat, how much to drink, because you do these workouts, and like I mentioned, Tom's not letting you know what's next. He is not giving you any insight. And so you don't, like, you may have a 15-minute workout and have a 45-minute break until that next hour comes by. And so, some kids, you would see them really throwing down on that food, really getting into that pasta, really eating some wings, things like that. And me, I know that I just don't want any of that coming up. And so it was really hard navigating it, especially because I came into the workout fasted. And so I hadn't eaten all day, and it started at noon. And then I was hoping there was going to be food there. There were snacks until like dinner came. And I threw down on those snacks. I'll tell you, bananas, apples, the whole shebang over there. And then the food started coming in, but I didn't have my first like real big meal until probably 7, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Once the dinner kind of hit. And even still, I wasn't eating until I was full because I knew that I had a small window to eat, a small window to have that food digest until you never know. You could have 1,000 jump rope workout, which was one of the workouts. And I don't want that bouncing up and down in my stomach. And so I tried to be as smart and as tactical as possible. But I did just eat a big meal right before I turned the mic on. And that was something that I had been waiting to do for 24 hours because I didn't want this to affect me during my workouts because you never know what was coming. And so that was a challenge. Sleep deprivation was a challenge. I mean, I was taking little power naps, but shoot, I took one probably around 2 or 3 a.m. I took like a 30-minute nap in a dark room, secluded. Like it was a secret room, only coaches had the key type thing. And I don't know if that was something that was beneficial for me or if it set me back because I mean, I was in there for a little bit and they knocked on that door and I didn't want to come out. I'll tell you right now, I did not want to come out. I wanted to stay there and sleep. I mean, we were a little bit more than halfway in and I was tired. But they knocked on the door. I put my shoes on. I walked back out there and then I got that workout done. There were a couple times where I needed to be shaken up because I was sleeping on a throwing mat. We were launching kids sleeping on a throwing mat and I needed some rest. And so there was one workout where they were already warming up and I had one of my boy Hunter, he woke me up and was like, Roman, and it was one of those wake ups, where feels like everything's moving so fast, like you wake up to a Tasmanian devil and you don't know what's going on and people are saying stuff, but like the music's so loud and you don't know what they're saying. You're just like, huh? What? And like that's how I woke up. And I was like, man, like I got to kind of figure this out and navigate the situation a little better because I did not like that feeling. It was almost that feeling of being woken up and not knowing where you are and what they're saying is worse than not sleeping for me. For me. Um, and so it was kind of funny that happened, and I'll take that experience because it was one that I needed. I think. I mean, I ended up trucking through the rest of it. I mean, I didn't have a smile on my face, but I knew that there were some other people that were probably suffering more than I currently was, and those were the people that we were trying to help. And so I didn't have. Once I got started, I didn't have a problem finishing a workout or really pushing through it. It was really just getting that first step, getting that warm up in, everything like that. And so it was a great time. But there were definitely some adversity that hit all the way through. I mean, whether it was inside of a workout, whether it was between workouts, whether it was the 2-minute warning before the next workout, it all just kind of it all just kind of added together. I mean, by the end, you could see that there was a lot less energy in the room. Luckily, we had a yoga session at the end that was very much needed. I am tight right now, all over. My whole body's tight. I feel like I'm in a latex suit. It's just all tight. But it was so much fun and so worth it. I mean, the families that we're gonna help, and the um, the wrestlers that we can kind of help with this program as well. It's gonna be all worth it. And so I have no problem donating 24 hours of my life to help people that are suffering and suffering in ways that I couldn't even understand. And so physically, my suffering, I know is something that I've done all my life, just through my athletics. And so if I can help, if I can use that to help others are uh, who are suffering but not choosing to suffer, they have this suffering kind of set on them by, maybe it could be a blood disease, maybe it could be um, autism, maybe it could be anything. Um, and so that's why I did this, and I went through and pushed these 24 hours, because I wanted to give, this was for them. It wasn't about me. And I think that the whole club really um, got that picture, and really, and that's why we were doing it. And it was cool because at the beginning we actually got to see and meet some of the families that we support during the holidays. And so they had their kids there, and they were very grateful to be a part of it, as well as see who was a part of the program. Because a lot of times you'll donate money and you won't know where it's going, and sometimes you don't get to see the families that you are creating that impact for. And so being able to see them, meet them, shake their hands, learn a little bit about them, it just made it so much better. And so that was, I mean, that was enough motivation to get through the first 12 hours. And then you just had to keep that memory just fresh in your mind, just to know that this is way bigger than you. This is way bigger than working out. This is way bigger than physical fitness. But we're choosing to suffer for the ones that didn't get the opportunity to choose to suffer. They just had suffering kind of put on them, and that was something that really kind of struck home for me. I believe Colin Moore said that, and that one like really hit home. And so we raised a good amount of money. I'd definitely like to thank the sponsors real quick. We had Carolina Chiropractic Plus. We had the Berkowitz family, the Greer family, the Monteperto family, Neogenics, Fifth Third Bank, Showmars, uh, Hubby D's, Unifio, Top Choice Counters, and Angela Amon, as well as people that were donating on some of the live platforms that we had. I think there was maybe some in TikTok, maybe some in Instagram, things like that. I know we have a PayPal open up as well, and so I'll post that PayPal link because there still is time to donate. I know that link will be uh, open for a couple more weeks, and so that one will, and so I'll share that with you guys. And if you guys feel compelled to donate, that would be awesome. I know that we are selling shirts too. These shirts are badass as well. We got the C2X 24-hour fitness on that side, and then we got all the sponsors on the back. Great shirt. Feels great too. You can see, you see all the veins I got just because I'm still juiced up from that workout. But it was just an amazing event, and I was so grateful to be a part of it. I had a phenomenal time. The conversations that I got to have with the wrestlers, as well as some of the parents, as well as my coaches, my fellow coaches, and just gathering people for a purpose that's bigger than all of us, is something that I really am grateful that I am a part of. And so, man, it was a tough 24 hours. I am sleep deprived at this point, and I can't wait to lay my head down tonight and really catch up on some sleep. But feel free to share the podcast, follow me at Roman the Empire. You can follow me on Facebook as well, Roman Perryman, Roman the Empire on Twitter. I will put that link in the show notes so that you guys can donate. Feel free. Any donation is encouraged. And I believe we are selling the shirts too, $20 for the shirts. And so if you want a shirt, reach out. We can make that happen. But I appreciate you all listening. I appreciate everyone who donated and will continue to donate. And we're making a difference out here in the Carolinas, and I am glad that I can be a part of it, and that I can support these families with going through hard times and in a tough situation that might not be as blessed as I may be. And so thank you all for listening. Feel free to share this, and even if you don't donate, if you would like to share the link and share the reason why we are donating, so that maybe one of your friends could see it and might resonate with it, that would be great, because we are doing something special, and it does take a community, and it does take people to help serve others. And so we are trying to serve as many people as possible, and continue to grow the sport of wrestling, as well as help these families out. And so thank you all for tuning in. I can't wait to share more with you guys. I got a great episode next week with a interview that I've already recorded, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. And so be sure to tune in for that one as well. And so y'all have a great rest of your day and week, and let's continue to get after it, find ways to support others and help each other grow and continue to grow in this crazy life that we are living. Thank you all. Take care. Roaming around.